We have already discussed various matrices associated with network graphs. Mainly we have discussed nodal incidence matrix, cut set matrix, tie set matrix. Uh, these matrices we have discussed. And nodal incidence matrices, there are two types of matrices, augmented incidence matrix and reduced incidence matrix. Some more matrices we will be discussing later on. KCL and KVL equations can be written in matrix forms. Actually, KCL, KVL equations are linear algebraic equations, so they can easily be put together in terms of matrices. But the formulation becomes very easy if that formulation is based on the network graphs. There are two types of things which are linked together whenever we write mathematical model of any system. One thing is we should know the behavior of each and every component of the system. And another thing is that how those components are connected with each other. So the behavior of each and every individual component and the behavior of the interconnection. These two things are there. So behavior of each and every component depends upon the voltage current relationship here in case of electrical network, and the behavior of interconnection. That behavior of interconnection is expressed in terms of network graphs. So these network graphs are drawn in order to express the behavior of interconnection. Okay. So suppose let us consider this network. Actually, this network you must have solved in your assignment problem in second course, in course of software techniques for electrical engineering applications. Okay, so this assignment you have solved and you already know the final answer. Now here, instead of solving it using PSpice, there you have solved it using PSpice. And most of the students have submitted that assignment. Now you will be able to understand how the PSpice solves this using the computers. We will be solving it, okay, the same problem by KCL and then by KVL, and answers are already known because everyone has solved it. So first of all, let us draw the network graph. So if I draw network graph of this particular network, then there is a node. For example, if this node D is considered to be reference node, we can do that. So this is a node. This is another node. So node A. Between node A and node D, there is a branch. Okay. And now that branch is consisting of this thing, resistance, and there is current source also. And this current source can be considered to be a part of this branch. Actually, a general branch, let us move further. This is a general branch. In a general branch, what we have? We have impedance. Impedance may be comprising of resistance, inductance, capacitance. So there is impedance, any kind or any one of them. There can be impedance. In a branch, there can be a series voltage source like this. In a branch, there can be a current source in parallel with this. Okay, so this much comprises a branch. Okay, so this is a general branch. In a particular branch, there can be a current source, there may or may not be a current source, there may or may not be a voltage source. Okay, similarly, resistance, capacitance, etc. may or may not be there. But a general branch can consist of this thing. Not only this, if the orientation of this branch, this is for example branch number J, branch is designated as J, and this node is for example I, and this node is for example I dash. Orientation of this branch is from I to I dash. So branch J is from I towards I dash. So impedance of this branch is this much. Now if a voltage source is connected in series with this impedance, and there is a potential rise in the direction of the orientation of the branch. Branch is from here to here, and there is a potential rise, minus here plus here. So if we travel from this side to this side, then potential will increase. So there is a rise. Due to this voltage source, there is a potential rise in the branch in the direction of orientation of the branch. Then it will be considered to be positive. And for this current source, if the current is towards node I, if the current source is connected in such a way, if the branch is from I to I dash and current source is towards this I, then associated with this branch, that current source will be considered to be positive. If the orientation is opposite, then this will be considered to be negative. So there can be a voltage source in series, there can be a current source in shunt with the impedance of the branch. Okay, so there can be impedance. Let us go back. So this impedance, so this branch is associated with, this branch represents impedance, this impedance and this current source. Similarly, this branch, here in this branch what we are having? We are having, this is branch number 3, we are having a resistance and we are also having a series voltage source, and again in this branch there is resistance and in parallel there is a current source, and this is only impedance, branch number 2, branch number 1. Again, now we are having only, here also we are having only impedances, but in branch number 6 we are having both. This is impedance and we are having both voltage source and current source. Branch number 6. These orientations are arbitrary. Okay, they are arbitrary orientations, but once we fix these orientations, the remaining exercise has to be performed in accordance with these orientations. Now there are some matrices. Some of the matrices we have already discussed: incidence matrix, fundamental cut set matrix, fundamental tie set matrix. Now there are some more matrices. Primitive impedance matrix, or primitive impedance matrix is also known as branch impedance matrix. Now branch impedance matrix, suppose we are having 6 branches. Now if we are having 6 branches, so this will be a 6 by 6 matrix like this. The size of this matrix will be B by B. B is number of branches. And here all diagonal elements are 0. Only diagonal elements are there. So impedance of branch number 1, impedance of branch number 2, like this. Okay. Now these off diagonal elements will be non-zero only if, for example, between branch number 3 and branch number 4, if there is a mutual inductance, a coupling. In case of uncoupled circuits, off diagonal elements will always be 0. It is the case of coupled circuits only in which off diagonal elements will be non-zero. So if between branch number 3 and branch number 4 there is a coupling, then ZB3 4 and ZB4 3, they will be non-zero, remaining will be zeros. So this is primitive impedance matrix. So primitive impedance matrix is a non-matrix. Okay, it is a non-matrix. Why it is a non-matrix? Because circuit is given, and by looking at the circuit, first of all we can find out primitive impedance matrix. Simply insert the values of these impedances. Okay. So next is, in our circuit, in branch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, impedances were 5 ohms, resistance of 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 10 ohm, 20 ohm, 20 ohm and 25 ohm, like this. In branch number 1, 5 ohm, then 10 ohm, then 3, 10 ohm, then 20 ohm, then 20 ohms, then 25 ohms, like this. Next is primitive admittance matrix. Just like primitive impedance matrix, primitive admittance matrix is the same. The only thing is that Here instead of